Alright YouTube, so we are here today to talk about the Skyrim survival mode. Bit of a touchy subject right now because it is in Creation Club and it does cost money, sort of. Now you might be asking yourself, what do you mean by sort of? Like it sort of costs money? Well, let's hop just right into the article. Skyrim Creation Club's all-new survival mode is now available on Steam for beta testing. You can be one of the first to check it out by simply opting into the Steam beta. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One players will get to experience survival mode and other creations early next month. Both PC and console players will get survival mode free for 1 week once it launches on their preferred platforms. So now you see why I said it sort of costs money. It's actually free for the first week. And I've heard other YouTubers complain about this. Mr. Matty Plays actually mentioned in his video where he said it's free for the first week and then they are going to charge you for it. There's actually nothing that says this though. It doesn't say that they're going to charge you after that first week. The free for the first week could literally mean that as long as you download it and install it or whatever in that first week, it is free to you because you're already going to start a playthrough. You already have it downloaded. You're already going to have a save file and start a playthrough and be playing a game with survival mode. So I can't imagine after all of that, they're still going to find a way to be able to charge you for it once you already have it downloaded. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I'm not saying Maddie's wrong or any of these other YouTubers are wrong. It could very well charge you for the first week. I just don't think it makes sense. Now, after it's free, it's going to cost 800 credits, which equates to about $8, but a lot of people point out that if you don't already have credits in stock, you're going to have to pay the $15. You're going to have to get the 1,500 Creation Club credits, but I don't know if Skyrim SE's Creation Club is going to launch for everybody with credits, because obviously with Fallout 4, we got 100 free credits. If that is the case, you're actually going to only have to pay $8, which nobody's really pointed out, but I don't know if we're getting free credits or not. Now that stuff's out of the way, let's actually finish reading over the article because survival mode sounds pretty damn cool. Survival mode adds new gameplay features and challenges to transform Skyrim into a land of unrelenting cold and harsh wilderness. You can check out the map below to see all the treacherous climate zones plus helpful landmarks that can ensure you survive your journey. So this right here is the map they're talking about. It's actually pretty damn legit. It'll be super beneficial if you plan on doing a survival mode playthrough. I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to be in-game once you download the survival mode in Creation Club, but if not, I'd save this to your phone or to your computer so you have it at all times. It shows you pretty much everything you need to survive. It shows you which regions are cold regions, which ones are freezing regions, which ones are warm. It shows you campfires, giant camps, cooking pots, inns, everything you really need, honestly. Survival mode changes Skyrim in the following ways. Hunger. Over time, you will become hungry, which will impact your total stamina as well as your ability to wield most weapons. As you become hungrier, your total available stamina will decrease, represented by a dark region inside the stamina bar. Eat food to restore your hunger. If you eat enough, you will receive the well-fed bonus. Cooked food restores more hunger than uncooked food. If you eat raw meat, you may contract food poisoning, which can prevent you from receiving health benefits from food until the effect wears off. Hot soups can now be cooked by using fire salts, which will restore your cold and also grant a bonus to your warmth rating. So right here they give us one of the hunger effects, which is called famish, and it says total stamina is reduced. Attack with weapons are 40% slower. You are 70% less effective with using shields and sneaking. We can also see that there's a fatigue effect, which we'll read over fatigue in a minute. There's the cold effect above that, and there's also the raw diet effect down below. Obviously we don't know exactly what these do unless they give us another screenshot at some point. Fatigue. Even the most stalwart adventurers will need to rest from time to time. Fatigue decreases your total available magicka, represented by a dark region inside the magicka bar. As you become more fatigued, the effectiveness of potions will begin to decline, and your ability to recover magicka and stamina will begin to suffer. You will need to periodically sleep in a bed in order to restore your fatigue. In survival, the well-rested bonus is no longer granted automatically after sleeping. If you sleep outside, you will not be able to get a restful night's sleep, waking up drained at best. If you sleep in a bed indoors, you will receive the well-rested bonus. So obviously, fatigue and hunger sound pretty good. They're nothing new, though. They're already in Fallout 4 survival mode. Hell, they were in Fallout New Vegas hardcore mode. You had to sleep and eat in that game as well. So nothing too new there, but they both sound pretty legit. I like that you actually can't sleep outdoors. Like, if you sleep on a sleeping bag outside, you're not going to get a very good night's sleep because you're sleeping outside, and you're exposed to everything. You're out in the cold, all that type of shit. So it sounds pretty cool. Cold. The frigid chill of Skyrim is now a formidable foe unto itself. Traveling in snowy or rainy areas will increase your cold. Cold decreases your total available health, represented as a dark region inside your health bar. No way. As you become colder, your movement speed and ability to pick locks and pick pockets will begin to suffer. If you reach the highest level of cold, Your health will be reduced to 0 and you will die from exposure to the elements. You can warm up by standing near a fire, eating hot soup, or moving to a warmer location. A sun or snowflake icon will appear near the compass to note whether you are currently getting warmer or colder. I like that. So right here, they actually give us a screenshot of what cold looks like. And it says, you are cold, which reduces your total health, represented by a dark region health bar, snowflake icon. You can slow down how quickly you become cold by wearing armor with high warmth. So armor actually matters now. That's fucking interesting. Eating hot soup and holding a torch can also improve your warmth rating. So I really, really like the fact that your armor actually matters. Like, that is super damn interesting to me. I wonder how it works, though. Like, does fur armor count as the warm armor? Or because a lot of your skin is exposed, is that the cold armor? Or is metal armor, because it, like, full-on, heavy armor covers your entire body, is that considered the warm armor? Or because it's all entire, you got a whole body of metal covering you, would that actually make you colder because it's absorbing the cold? I don't know which way it would go. I also like that you can actually carry a torch around now, and it will keep you a little bit warm to some degree. People are somewhat comparing this to like the radiation storm in survival mode on Fallout 4, but it's really not like that because it's its own beast. Like, this shit is so much better than radiation storms. Warmth. The higher your warmth rating, the more slowly you will feel the effects of cold environments. Most clothing and armor provide warmth displayed on the item's description. Some armor is exceptionally warm, while others are ill-suited to protect the wearer from harsh climates. You can also temporarily increase your warmth rating by eating hot soup or holding a torch. So I like that warmth is an entire stat by itself as well. Like, there's cold, there's regular you, then there's warmth you. So, like, you can actually go into, like, a house, find a fire pit, get your warmth all the way up, and then go back out in the cold and last for a lot longer than opposed if you didn't get warm at all and you were just kind of standard you. I also like this because it gives you incentive to actually come back to an inn and maybe chill out for a minute, as opposed to just going in there really quick for whatever reason and then leaving. Like, say your character's like dangerously in the cold. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go chill in this inn. Most inns have like some sort of fire pit or fireplace. I'm going to chill by that, maybe eat some food to warm up as well, and get my, warmth all the way back up, and then I'll go back out and explore. Also, you can sleep at an inn. Since you're sleeping indoors, you'll get well rested, all that type of shit. This actually adds to the immersion of this game finally, which I really, really love. Freezing water. Taking a swim in an ice-cold river can make for a quick death. If you swim in a freezing area, you will immediately become colder and begin taking health damage. Exit the water as soon as possible in order to begin warming up and stop the loss of health. Using a flame cloak spell or the Dunmer Ancestor's Wrath ability can make you temporarily immune to the effects of freezing water. This is actually something I was going to question in this video anyways. I wonder if race matters in this game. And it sounds like it kind of does, at least with your race ability, with the Ancestor's Wrath or whatever. But I wonder if, like, say you're a Nord. Nords are people of Skyrim. They're used to the weather in Skyrim. Does being a Nord make you a little less affected by the cold? You also have, like, the Argonians, which are, like, lizard people. Lizards are generally cold-blooded, so they'd adapt to the weather easily. You have the Khajiit, which are people that are covered in fur entirely, so they'd be protected from the cold a little bit more as well. But I don't know if they're going to go that in-depth with it. It'd be kind of interesting if they did. And I wonder if any other, like, race abilities will help you in any way. Fast travel. Fast travel is disabled. If you wish to go somewhere, you must do so on foot or by horseback. You can also take a carriage or boat to your destination, but know that you may arrive hungry, cold, and in need of rest after a long journey. So I think we all knew that fast travel wouldn't be a thing after Fallout 4 survival mode. It just makes sense. It adds to the immersion of the game that you have to walk from place to place. That adds to the survival aspect. Something I'm a bit interested in, though, is it says you can take a boat from place to place. I wonder to what degree they mean. Like, you rode boats a little bit in the game, but I wonder if there's going to be like more boats on shores and things and people you can pay to take you to certain locations around the world that you couldn't previously before survival mode. And the carriages being in Skyrim is a huge benefit that the Fallout series doesn't really have. Like, whenever there's the survival mode, you can't fast travel in Fallout 4, but in this game, we can actually pay somebody to drive us to at least one of the major holds or something. So that's kind of interesting. And it's definitely something you want to take advantage of in your survival mode playthrough. It usually does not cost that much gold. Couple of quick ones now. Health regeneration. You no longer regenerate health. You must use restorative spells, food, and potions to replenish your health. Obviously, that makes sense. You're playing survival mode. Leveling up. To level up, you must now sleep in a bed. You may still spend your perk points later once they have been granted after sleeping. So now once you level up, you're actually going to have to find a bed to be able to fully level up and add something to like your health, magicka, or stamina, but you can still reserve your perk points for a later point in time. You're not forced to use those or anything. Carry weight. Your carry weight has been significantly reduced. Becoming over-encumbered also quickly drains your stamina and causes you to become fatigued much faster. Arrows and lockpicks now have weight. So obviously this makes sense as well, because with the survival mode in Fallout 4 and also with hardcore mode in Fallout New Vegas, things that generally didn't have weight do now, especially in Fallout 4 because they made like stim packs have weight and stuff. And of course ammo and shit have weight as well. This makes sense now, lockpicks and of course arrows, which generally you find a lot of those and that didn't have weight. So now they do, it also makes sense. To me, it seems like stamina is going to be a very important stat because it goes into the hunger stuff. It'll also help with your overall carry weight because every time you increase your stamina, you get a little bit more stamina, but you also get like 5 pounds of extra carry weight. So it seems like stamina is going to be quite important for survival mode. Disease. Creatures across the land now carry threatening new diseases, and previous diseases are now even more debilitating. Eating uncooked meat can now cause food poisoning. If you fail to cure a disease, it may progress into a more serious version over time. So now you actually have to watch out for what you fight, because eventually you will learn which enemies carry which diseases, so to avoid them, maybe not let them hit you, run from them, that type of stuff. You also need to cook your food well, because if it's not cooked food, you can get food poisoning. If you don't cure a disease over time, they can get stronger and stronger and become more deadly and more bad for you. So it sounds like diseases in survival mode will actually become a real threat, because I know in the base version of Skyrim, diseases never really affected me that much. I never really cared about them. Afflictions. Time spent while unwell puts you at risk of contracting an affliction, which causes effects that can linger long after you have improved your condition. Afflictions will naturally wear off or can be cured like other diseases. Some afflictions include weakened. You are less effective at using melee weapons and blocking damage with your shield. Addled. All enchantments and spells cast are less effective. Frostbitten. You are less effective at picking locks, picking pockets, and doing damage with a bow. So this is an even more immersive thing with survival mode. So if you are in your hunger too long, maybe you're cold too long, whatever the case, and you have a disease too long and you don't cure these things or fix them, it can eventually cause an affliction, which is an even more damaging thing to your character. And those last even after you've cured, maybe you've warmed up, maybe you got rid of the disease, and these afflictions will still last unless you get rid of them as well. Shrines no longer cure diseases for free. You must now make a gold offering in order to receive the shrine's benefits. Shrines you craft in a house you have built can be used for free. So this to me makes a lot of sense, because if you could cure diseases for free, they wouldn't be that threatening. Just find a shrine and get rid of them. I just wonder how much the gold offering has to be. Perks and standing stones. The extra pockets perk and the steed stone now grant 50 extra carry weight instead of 100. I'm assuming that since these are the only perk and standing stone mentioned, that they're probably the only ones that got nerfed for survival mode. And last up, vampires and werewolves. Both vampires and werewolves can restore their hunger by feeding on their victims. While transformed into a werewolf or vampire lord, you will become colder much slower than normal. So now if you're playing survival mode, unless you want to make it harder for yourself, there's really no reason not to be a vampire or a werewolf. There's only benefits to it now. It's kind of interesting, because there's probably people who play Skyrim and don't care to be either one of those, but it can actually help you in survival mode, because you can feed for free, since you can kill people and eat them, and you also don't get cold as easy when you're in one of those transformations. So I'll be completely honest with you guys, this sounds like the best version of a Bethesda survival mode so far. Like, New Vegas' was good for what it was. Fallout 4's was better because it had a lot more options and things you had to micromanage. And now this is even better than Fallout 4's survival mode, so I'm really looking forward to this. And look, I know people are upset that you have to pay for this, because Fallout 4 survival mode was free. Why should Skyrim survival mode cost something? I get that. But to be honest with you guys, $8, if that's what you got to pay, is not that much. If we get like some free credits, then you'll have to pay $8 for the 750 credits. It's really not that big a deal. Now, if we end up having to pay the $15 for the 1,500 credits, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. But to be honest with you guys, this sounds like it's worth the purchase. It sounds fucking legit. There's not a free version of this for Bethesda.net for the console players. We don't have like a free version, a free mod of a survival mode. There's a version of it obviously for PC players, but we console players don't have this. So this is worth purchasing, in my opinion, if we have to purchase it. Because I'm still skeptical about that free week thing, because it didn't say it was a free week of testing it or anything like that, free week of trying it out. It says it's just free for the first week. It didn't say it was a trial period, nothing like that. It just says it's free for the first week. So if after that first week it is going to cost everybody money still, even if you already downloaded it and tried it out for free, that'll be a bit of an issue, of course, but it's not that big a deal, dude. $8 is not that fucking much compared to, what was it like for Fallout 4, we had to pay like $5 or $7 for like one gun or one suit of armor. You're getting an entire new game mode for Skyrim Special Edition that completely just revamps the game entirely for a mere $8. To me, it sounds like an easy purchase. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts below on this. What do you think of Skyrim survival mode? I think it sounds like the best version of Bethesda's survival mode so far. Do you think it's going to cost us after that first week, or do you think it's going to be free as long as you download it within that week? Let me know your thoughts below. Anyways, if you went on to enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn on notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @TheDashingDavid. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
illusions, all the things that we thought we were losing. I'm a ghost and you know this. That's why we broke up in the first place.